That was beautiful. When you visit Jerusalem, and right near the Temple Mount, just off the north side, by the old Roman fort that's there, there's the traditional birthplace of Mary, the mother of Jesus. But, Kristen, would you show this first picture? So here's the Temple Mount. This is the sheep gate. And this is as it would have been in Jesus' time. They say that the pool of Bethesda, or Bethsaida, had 5 porticos. Well, the way that happens is there's one in the middle, across. But when you get to there now, they put a church here, just right outside the gate. And go to the next picture. And this is the Church of St. Anne. And I took this when I was there in 2010. It's the Church of St. Anne, and it's the traditional birthplace of Mary. Now, I don't know that I buy that Mary was born 4 feet from the temple, but that is the traditional birthplace of, and it's the Church of St. Anne. Now, I will say the acoustics in this building are some of the best places I've ever sung in my life. Now, right next to that is the excavation of the thing. Go to the next picture. This is what's left of the pool of Bethesda that they have dug out. And if you go to the next picture, you can see it looking down. It was a very deep pool. It was a very deep pool. And it was had springs, water that fed it. And now, Bethesda means house of mercy. A lot of hospitals are called Mercy. In D.C., there's the hospital called Bethesda. And in ancient time, this pool would stir. And they think what happened is when the spring bubbled up at some point, the pool seemed to stir. But the tradition was that an angel would come down and stir the waters periodically. And when that happened, the first person that got in was healed. Now, lots of people would be sitting there at this house of mercy and waiting, kind of like going to the doctor's office and waiting. But the only problem was only the first person got healed. So what you have in your hands are pom-poms. Now, the reason you have pom-poms is because I used to direct junior camps. And I had this great script that we would use for puppets or things that was this story. And in this story, every time that you say the word swirled, everybody in the place would be cheerleaders, and they would say, turn it, Kristen. Okay, one more. All right, here's your cheer. You got to get your pom-poms ready. Ready? We're going to practice this. Ready? Whirly, swirly, curl and twirly. If you're hurt, jump in a hurry. If you're lame or deaf or sick, the first one in gets healed real quick. Go Jesus! Woo! Now, can you all handle that? Anytime Carol or I say the word swirled, you go into that. Can you handle it? All right. That's not leaving. Okay? All right, here we go. Actually, Nick, you have my permission to get your phone out for just a minute. Get up here and video them doing it once. Okay. It's going to be too good. Okay. Everybody ready?
Let your inner cheerleader out.
The Jewish leaders in Jesus' day were very careful to follow the rules. In fact, they were more concerned about following the rules than about being kind to people.
Now, in Jerusalem, there was a special pool, and at certain times, an angel would swirl the
Whirly, swirly, curl and twirly. If you're hurt, jump in a hurry. If If you're lame or deaf or sick, the first one in gets healed up quick. Go Jesus! Woo!
If you were sick or hurt or couldn't walk and wanted to be healed, all you had to do was be the first one in, when the water swirled.
Whirly, swirly, curl and twirly. If you're hurt, jump in a hurry. If you're lame or deaf or sick, the first one in gets healed up quick. Go Jesus! Woo! Wait a minute. If you couldn't walk, how were you supposed to get in the pool?
You'd need someone to help you.
So if you didn't have any friends or family around, you'd just be stuck there?
Yep.
That's a bummer.
Yep. Now, the pool was called Bethsaida or Bethesda, whichever. And there were a whole group of people waiting there for the angel to swirl the water.
Whirly, swirly, curl and twirly. If you're hurt, jump in a hurry. If you're lame or deaf or sick, the first one in gets healed real quick. Go Jesus! Woo!
Jesus was walking past when he saw a man who'd been sick for 38 years.
That's a lot of sick days.
No kidding. Jesus went over to him and said, "Sir, do you want to get better?"
The man responded, "Of course, what do you think? But I don't have anybody to help me get when the water gets all swirly." Whirly, swirly, curl and twirly. If you're hurt, jump in a hurry. If you're lame or deaf or sick, the first one in gets healed up quick. Go Jesus! Woo! So the man continued, "I'm never the first one in. Somebody always beats me. It's not fair. Life's not fair. I think I'm going to go eat worms. I've been stuck here for 38 years.
Then Jesus said, "Well, then get up. Pick up your sleeping bag and walk." At once, the man stood up and he was healed.
The sick man said, "Oh, I'm a little stiff, though. I've been sitting here for 38 years. Did I mention that?"
Some Jewish leaders saw the man carrying his sleeping bag. One Pharisee said, "Hey, that's against the rules to carry that sleeping bag around."
The sick man replied, "Why's that?"
The Pharisee was only too happy to say it is the day of rest. You're supposed to be resting, not camping.
To which the healed man said, "I've been resting for 38 years. And besides, the guy who healed me, he's the one who told me to pick it up. So if anybody's in trouble, it ought to be him. It's his fault."
The Pharisee was outraged. He asked the healed man, "Where did he heal you?"
Now, even though it seemed obvious, the healed man said, "Well, in my legs, what do you think?"
The Pharisee didn't think that was funny and said, "No, I mean, where around here did he heal you?"
Oh, over there by that stupid pool that gets all swirly. Whirly, swirly, curl and twirly. If you're hurt, jump in a hurry. If you're lame or deaf or sick, the first one in gets healed up quick. Go Jesus! Woo! The healed man continued, "I had to lay there for 38 years. Did I mention that?"
And then the Pharisee asked, "But who healed you anyway?"
"How am I supposed to know?" the healed man said.
The Pharisee was appalled. He said, "He healed you and you don't even know who it is?"
"That's right. You got a problem with that?" he said.
Later, Jesus saw the healed man in the temple and said to him, "Listen, don't sin or something worse might happen to you."
Worse than being sick for 38 years? Worse than watching everybody else get healed except for me?
Jesus replied, "Yes, much worse. Turn away from sin or you'll regret it forever."
So the healed man went and found the Pharisees and said, "It was him." That Jesus man right over there, he's the one that told me to carry my sleeping bag around.
The Pharisee went to Jesus and said, you shouldn't help people on the day of rest.
Jesus just sighed and said, why doesn't anybody appreciate a good miracle anymore?
The Pharisees persisted. You shouldn't help people on the day of rest.
I know, I heard you, Jesus said. Well, it might be a day of rest for you, but my dad is at work, and so I'm working too.
The Pharisee said, your dad?
Jesus replied, yeah, my dad, God.
What? The Pharisees exclaimed. The Pharisee didn't want to listen to Jesus say things like that. They wanted to kill him because he claimed to be God's son.
All of this happened over there by that pool.
Where the angel made the waters all swirly.
Whirly, swirly, curl and twirly. If you're hurt, jump in a hurry. If you're lame or deaf or sick, the first one in gets healed up quick. Go, Jesus! Woo! So the healed man said to the Pharisees, you want a piece of me?
And the Pharisee said, follow our rules or else.
And both of them missed out on the joy of celebrating Jesus' miracle.
But we won't, will we?
Go, Jesus! Woo! Okay, kids can go with Carol and head out the door.